Hello everyone, and welcome to English Learn Zone, the channel where we make learning English a genuinely enjoyable part of your day. For today's episode, we are going to focus on the most important topic you can ever learn in a new language: how to talk about yourself. This is the key to connection, the foundation of every conversation, and the first step to sharing your world with others. I know that talking about yourself in a new language can feel challenging, but we're going to break it down into simple, manageable steps. We're calling this episode, The Story of You. A complete guide to talking about yourself. Whether you're meeting new friends, starting a new class, or in a job interview, knowing how to confidently share information about yourself is an essential skill. It's how you turn strangers into friends and build relationships. From your name and job to your family and dreams, there's a whole set of vocabulary and phrases that will help you express who you are. Today, we'll cover all of it, with lots of examples and practice. So, we're going to build your personal story in English, from start to finish. We'll learn the key vocabulary and phrases you'll need to talk about your life, your personality, and your plans with confidence. Our journey begins with the absolute basics, the first pieces of information you share when you meet someone new. Let's start with your name. A simple and polite way to state your name is, "My name is ... double quotes. For example, "Hello, my name is Alex." A slightly more casual and very common alternative is to use the contraction I'm, which means I am. You could say, "Hi, I'm Sophia." Both are perfect. After you give your name, it's natural to ask for theirs by saying, "What's your name?" The next fundamental piece of your identity is where you are from. The standard phrase is, "I'm from ... double quotes, followed by your country. For instance, "I'm from South Korea," or "I'm from Argentina." If you want to be more specific, you can mention your city. You could say, "I'm from Paris, in France." People often ask, "Where are you from?" to learn more about your background. Sometimes, where you are from is different from where you live now. In that case, you can use the phrase originally from. You could say, "I'm originally from Turkey, but I live in London now." This gives a more complete picture. Now, let's talk about your age. While you don't always have to share your age, it's a common part of introductions, especially among students. The correct phrase is, "I am years old." For example, "I am 25 years old." In casual conversation, you can simply say, "I'm 25. The question you might be asked is, "How old are you?" After the basics, a conversation often moves to what you do in your life. This usually means your job or your studies. The most common question is, "What do you do?" To answer, you say, "I'm a ... or "I'm an ... double quotes, followed by your profession. For example, "I'm a graphic designer," or "I'm an engineer." Remember to use an if your job title starts with a vowel sound. If you are studying, you can say, "I'm a university student," or, more specifically, "I'm studying medicine." This is a great moment for our first learning check to review these essential phrases. Okay, listeners, here is your first question. What is a polite and slightly more formal way to say your name? A polite and standard way is, "My name is ... double quotes perfect." And question number 2. If you are from one country but live in another, what phrase can you use to explain this? You can use the phrase, "I'm originally from ... double quotes." Excellent. Now that we have the basic personal details down, let's move on to talking about your family. This is a great way to share more about your life and connect with people on a more personal level. You can start with a general statement about the size of your family. For example, "I have a big family," or "I have a small family." To talk about the people in your immediate family, which includes your parents and siblings, you can be specific. Siblings is the word for your brothers and sisters together. You might say, "I have 2 brothers and 1 sister." To specify if they are older or younger, you can say, "I have 1 older brother and 1 younger sister." If you have no siblings, the correct phrase is, "I'm an only child." You can also briefly mention what your family members do. For instance, "My father is a teacher, and my mother is a nurse," or "My sister is still in high school." Next, let's talk about describing your personality. What are you like as a person? This can be difficult, but we can start with some simple, positive adjectives. Are you a friendly and outgoing person? Outgoing means you are social and enjoy being with other people. Or are you perhaps more quiet and shy? Shy means you are a little nervous around new people. You could describe yourself by saying, "I think I'm a pretty outgoing person," or "I can be a bit shy at first, but I'm very friendly once you get to know me." Other useful words to describe your personality include creative, if you love making things; organized, if you like to plan; and easygoing, which means you are relaxed and don't worry too much. Now, let's dive deeper into your interests. Talking about your hobbies is one of the best ways to find a connection with someone. The simplest way to start is with the phrase, I like, or I enjoy, double quotes, followed by a verb in its ing form. For example, I enjoy reading, or I like playing video games. Let's explore some common categories of hobbies. For creative interests, you could say, I'm interested in photography, or I like to paint in my free time. For active hobbies, you could say, I'm a big fan of hiking, or I really enjoy playing basketball with my friends. The phrase, a big fan of, is a great way to show you really like something. For more relaxing hobbies, you might say, in my free time, I usually watch movies or listen to music. This often leads to follow-up questions, like what kind of music do you like? You could respond, I mostly listen to pop music, but I also like classical. Describing your likes and dislikes is a key part of expressing your personality. We can use simple phrases for this. To express a strong liking, you can say I love, double quotes for example. I love spicy food. To express a dislike, you can say, I don't like double quotes, or, for a stronger feeling, I can't stand double quotes, for example, I don't like horror movies, or, I can't stand waiting in long lines. Let's move on to another important topic, your daily routine. This is a great way to practice the simple present tense. The question you might hear is, what's your typical day like? You can start from the beginning of your day. I usually wake up at 7 a.m. You can use adverbs of frequency like usually, always, or sometimes, to describe how often you do something. To describe the sequence of your actions, you can use words like first, then, after that, and finally. For example, first, I have breakfast. Then, I go to work. After that, I come home and make dinner. Finally, I relax and read a book before I go to sleep. This has been a lot of new information. It seems like a perfect time for our next learning check. Okay, listeners, here is question number 3. What is the English word for your brothers and sisters together? The word for your brothers and sisters is siblings. Excellent. And question number 4. What is a strong way to say you dislike something very much? A strong phrase is, I can't stand, Perfect. Now, let's talk about your past experiences. This is where you can share a little bit about your life story using the simple past tense. You can talk about your education. For example, I studied economics at university, or I graduated 2 years ago. You can also talk about past travel experiences. Last summer, I went to Thailand with my family. It was an amazing trip. Notice the use of went, the past tense of go. Another important topic is your work experience. You could say I worked as a waiter for 3 years, before I got my current job. Learning the past tense of common verbs is essential for sharing these stories. Now, let's look to the future. Talking about your future plans and dreams is a great way to end a conversation on a positive and hopeful note. To talk about your definite plans, you can use the structure I'm going to, double quotes, for example, next month, I'm going to start a new job. To talk about your hopes or dreams, you can use phrases like I hope to, or I would like to, double quotes for example, in the future, I hope to travel the world, or I would like to start my own business one day. You can also talk about why you are learning English. I'm learning English because I want to communicate with people from other countries, or I'm learning English to improve my career prospects. What an incredible journey, from your name to your dreams for the future. Let's do a final rapid-fire recap of all the amazing vocabulary and phrases we've covered today. My name is I'm from, I live in, originally from, how old are you, what do you do? I'm a student, I'm an engineer, immediate family, siblings, only child, outgoing, shy, creative, I enjoy. I'm a big fan of daily routine, I usually wake up at first, then, after that. I love, I don't like, I can't stand, I studied, I went to, I hope to, I would like to. Wow, that is a full toolkit for telling your own story. I sincerely hope that breaking these down has helped you feel more confident and prepared to talk about yourself in English. That is always our goal here at the English Learn Zone.